And I'll do a share screen. Okay. So to tell you the meanings of the commentators, so they divide prana and rai, as prana being the bhoktra shakti, the power of the consumer, and rai as the bhoktri shakti, that is the power of the consumed. So they say that the sun is essentially prana. So it provides beings with the power to consume rai, that is the material objects which surround us. And rai definitely is Chandrama. So rai has the power to be consumed, and that is represented by Chandrama. Now you see the reason why Surya is called prana. You can see the connection very clearly. In fact, this is an alankar which is there here, in which the cause is called the effect. So the sun is the one which produces life. Okay, so this here is the nimitta karan. So Aditya is the nimitta karan of prana, and so it is called prana only. So it is not as if Surya is pran, that Surya is a living thing, or that the life of the sun is what is there inside you. But the sun is the basis of life anywhere, right? Science acknowledges that fact. If you had no sun, there would be no life. So sun is the root cause of living beings. So that is why you say Aditya hi prana hai. Sun itself is life. Okay, so the connection between why you should be calling Surya as prana is clear. Why should you call Chandrama as Rai? So they say that the moon is the basis for desires coming up, and therefore you consume. Now this is a very thin reason. Okay, so anyway, proceeding. So then he says that everything which is there, which has form and which has no form. So in the 5 elements which we covered, the Akash and Vayu are both without form. So they are covered under Amurta. And Agni, Jala and Prithvi, these are Murta. So everything made out of these 5 elements is called Rai. So what we were saying, matter, all material things are called Rai. So then what is the meaning of Tasman Murti Reva Rai? That only Murti is Rai. So for that there is no answer which is really available. They kind of say that so what you see is all Rai only. That again is very weak. So now I will give you the yogic meanings, my meanings. So if you like, you can use them, or you can dump them and take the one which is given. So Aditya Have Pranu. Let me come to this next. So when we say Rai is Chandrama, then this Chandrama is actually from a root Chadi Ahladane, which means Ahlad, which creates great pleasure. So Chandrama is called Chandrama because it produces happiness in you, right? So these material objects, they cause happiness. So they are the basis of happiness inside us. And therefore they are called, oh my God, 1 minute, sorry. So therefore they are called Therefore, they are called Rai. Rai is called Chandrama. Okay, is equal to Chandrama because it is a happiness giving thing. So then Rai Vaitat Sarvam Yat Murtam Yacha Murtyam, that is the same meaning. Tasman Murtirevarai. Let me come to that next. Adityo Have Pranam. So this Aditya comes from Aditi, which it has the same meaning as Aditi. And Aditi is Aditi. So that has come from Do Avakhandani, which means to split or to destroy or to be reduced, be destroyed. So anything which is destructible is called Diti, and which is undestructible is called Aditi, and Aditya comes, it has the same meaning. That means something which is undestructible. So what is undestructible? Any guesses?
Bhagavan?
Soul.
Sun.
Yes.
Soul.
Bhagavan is also
Okay.
true, but it is not coming in this context of Praja. So this prana is essentially the soul. The soul itself is produces life. So again, we are looking, even if we take the meaning as soul, soul is actually the cause and pran is the effect of that cause. So soul is the nimitta karan of pran. So now for prana, we have now got two nimitta karanas. One was God, who was Praja Kama, and now you have Aditya, that is the soul, which is also the nimitta karan of life. So then, yes,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
So so it assumes that,
Assumes.
does it assume that all these 5 elements are present before the,
No. See,
before the
firstly,
humans were
this
born?
is not giving you a timeline of creation. Okay, so don't take this as something which is giving you a timeline of creation. But the focus is on how and why beings are produced. More
Because
why?
it mentions about the sun and the moon. Does it take that, all these 5 elements were present prior to the humans coming into existence?
Oh,
Not
yes.
humans, I mean living beings coming into existence.
Yeah. Everything is
Okay.
the sun, the moon, the whole universe came into existence before beings could come into existence, and they're all made up of matter. So matter had to reach a certain level of maturity before beings could come. So just like the earth had to cool, oxygen had to be generated, and then only you could have unicellular organisms coming in. Water had to be produced. So that is definitely there.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
But see, if you notice, she is giving a more deeper sense to Aditya and Chandra for using the dhatu artha, which is beautiful. See, Diti, Aditi, and Aditya from that. So that indestructible sense from that dhatu, and the Chandrama, the sense of chodana or the prachodana from that
no, not
dhatu.
Chodana, Chadi
Beautiful.
Aladani. In the sense
Chadi
of,
Ahla, sir.
yeah, in the sense of
Uttara,
delight, pleasure.
I have a doubt.
Sure.
See, when you say that the earth has to cool, so what are you trying to say? Like it has come off it is a chunk which has come off the sun theory you are telling?
Shavan, let us not get into something outside of this subject.
No.
So,
Okay.
however you want
No,
to see the
I just
origins
want.
of earth and life, you can Google and check. So, what I'm trying to say is
No.
origins. So that
I
is
just
not the
want to know why
controversy
you
covered
said
here.
earth.
Earth
Okay.
was a ball of fire at some point in time, at its time of origination, and it could not, it was like volcanoes were erupting all over the place, and it had to cool down to a certain point before even water could be produced. And then oxygen had to be present in the atmosphere, which was not there in the beginning. So in the early atmosphere, there was only methane and nitrogen. So have a Google it. Okay, so then now that we see the soul as prana, then tasmat murtihi eva rahi. Then now he says that this murti, what he is talking about, this is the body. So this body which you are seeing, this is material only. That prana which is there is tucked away inside and is a murti. This external, this manifestation of the soul which you are seeing is murti only, is something which has form and is made of matter. It is Rahi. Okay. Now, one more very fine point I will tell you here. If you see Aditya Prana, Rahi Chandrama, the order is reversed. So Aditya is Prana, Rai is Chandrama. You see that distinction. So Aditya is the one, is the cause which produces prana. That is what is implied over here. While Rai is the cause for delight. So again, you are saying cause and effect. But now Rai is the cause and Chandrama is the effect of that Rai. So that is why it comes next. Okay. So to say it in short, the soul is the cause of life, and material things produce delight, and this matter is that which is which makes up this universe. Everything which you either see, don't see, which has form, doesn't have form, and the body of the soul is a matter only. Don't be confused about that point. Any questions are there? Okay, before we finish with time, let's continue. Athaditya udayan
Ataditya udayan
Udayan
yat prachim disham
yat
Yat
prachim
prachim
disham
disham
pravishati tena
pravishati
pravishati
tena
tena
prachyan pranan
prachyan pranan
pranan
rashmishu sannidhatte
rashmishu
rashmishu
sannidhate
sannidhate
yad dakshinam yad praticim
yad
yat
dakshinam yad
dakshinam yat
praticim
praticim
yad udicim yad adho
yad udicim
yadudichim
yad adado
yadadho
yad urdhvam yad antaradisho
yadurdvam yadantaradisho
yadantaradisho
yad sarvam prakashayati
yat
yat
sarvam prakashayati
prakashayati
tena sarvan
tena
tena
sarvan
sarvan
प्राणान् रश्मिषु सन्निधत्ते
pranan rashmisu
rashmishu
sannidhate
sannidhate.
yes atha. Then once this in that material body, the two get combined, prana and rai. So that last statement, prana and rai, now has got combined. So then thereafter, let me give you the literal translation and that which has been taken by commentators. Aditya Udayan, the sun rises and it enters the eastern direction. By entering that eastern direction, it upholds, it kind of produces life in that direction by means of its rashmi, by means of its light, by means of its rays. Then just like in the eastern direction, so also in the southern direction, in the western direction, Udichim in the northern direction, Adho that is below, Urdhvam that is above, and Antaradisho, that means all the directions in between these. That is Yad Sarvam Prakashayati. Whatever it lights up, Tena Sarvan Pranan Rashmishu Sannidhete. In its rays, it brings to life prana. It generates life by means of its rays. Okay, so now this is a very obvious meaning. If we go by just Aditya being Surya, and this even a farmer can tell you, or anybody on the street can tell you this statement, why should an Upanishad be written, and why should the answer to Kabandi's question involve this very trivial statement. However, if you look at the meaning which I have given you, it becomes very deep actually. So this Aditya, that is the soul, when it rises, where? In the body. Okay, starting from when in the fetus it takes life. Then when it enters the right side of the body, it pulls prana along with it, and it generates life in that whole part of the body, and similarly in all parts of the body. So what is being said is that the soul is the cause of prana in the sharira. It spreads its life force. The primal life force is that of the soul, and the subsequent life force is that of prana. So it gives actually the power to prana to spread life everywhere into every soul in the body, in every cell in the body. So the soul is the primary reason. It is the power which drives prana into every living cell of the body. Okay, and here this Rashmi is that power of the soul. So the soul kind of radiates from its existence, which is somewhere in your brain, and it spreads its existence into the cell, and that is how prana is held up, is upheld by the Rashmis. By the Rashmis, all the pranas are held, are generated, are produced, are maintained. That is why when the soul leaves, the prana also disappears along with the soul, and when the soul enters, prana also comes along with the soul. So this, the Rishi is telling how the soul actually generates life in the whole body. And now when we are studying this, actually you should also look at the distinction between life and consciousness. So while every cell in your body is living, the consciousness is only produced, consciousness, that is awareness, is produced only by whatever your senses are sensing. So you are aware of only what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you taste, etc. But you don't feel every cell of your body, correct? Yet that cell is living, and there is no doubt about that. So there is should separate life vis-a-vis consciousness, and here we are showing the interrelation between the two, how consciousness, that is the soul, produces life in the whole body through as if its rays which spread into the entire body. Okay, any question is there?
Can you please repeat the last sentence once again?
What was my last sentence?
You're telling
No,
about
it's about the
consciousness.
radiation of the soul power, I guess. That's what you're
You were talking
describing.
about
No,
the
the
Rashmi.
life and the consciousness.
Yeah, kind of light. Don't take too literally. So it is as if the consciousness radiates into the whole body. So it's not as if it has some photons in it. There's no electromagnetic magnetism involved. Electromagnetism is part of Rai only. So it is as if that soul radiates through its power into every cell in the body. And what does that mean? Power, actually, it is prana only. So
Okay.
Yeah, think over it. Think over it.
I
It's
guess
not-
Bhagini here he's trying to describe in your Gudartha sense that it is not like centered somewhere, it's omnipresent, that sense.
Yes, yes. That if the soul comes out of anything, we can look at the negative aspect. So, like diabetics get gangrene. So the soul has come out of the lower part of the leg. And that part immediately starts withering, starts rotting. So the very important thing for a living thing to be living is to have a soul in it. So soul will generate the prana which will spread into all the cells which will produce life. Okay. Let me cover this one as well.
So how is it for plants? So plants are considered to be living.
Yes.
Do they have soul?
Yeah. Why do you doubt that they have a soul?
I just
They are
They
thinking.
outlive all of us. So they have a deeper soul.
actually they do have a different structure. They are supposed to be, the souls there are supposed to be anushayi, and one plant has many souls. So that is why you take a tree and you cut off one branch. That branch you can take and plant somewhere else.
Yeah,
And
make
they start
again.
growing. Both will grow because there is a set of souls there and there is a set of souls. So actually there are many souls in that body. So your question is very good. You may not have realized it, but it is a great question. So in that particular case, it is that joint energy which is producing life in the plant.
Actually, my question was, I was thinking about, in the science, the first chapter is what is a living thing, the definition. That when you talk about every cell is living, so there are different characteristics too. If you look at a science book, they'll say it will grow, it will, it has some life processes and things like that. So there, the scientific answer, we
Actually,
never talk about
reproduction
the
was
soul.
explained. Well,
Correct.
that's why
Correct.
Uttara Bhagini gave the multi-soul answer, because a branch reproduces means it has to be a
Correct. So, so I was never in the science book, they never talk about the soul over there. So that is when this doubt came actually,
Yeah. The soul is invisible to science. Okay, so now we are up on this. If there are not any more questions, shall we say our Shanti Path? If you have any questions, sure, go ahead. Okay. If anytime you have questions, please, you can definitely send me on WhatsApp. You can send personal messages also, anything, whatever works for you. So this particular mantra is clear to you, right? Okay. Om Shraddham Pratar Havamahe.
Om Shraddham Pratar Havamahe.
Mahamahe.
Shraddham Madhyandinam Pari.
Shraddham Madhyandinam Pari.
Shraddham Suryasya Nimruchi.
Shraddham Suryasya Nimruchi.
Nimruchi.
Shraddhe Shraddhapayehanah.
Shraddhe Shraddhapayehana.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyavada.
Thank